3D, how do we say it?
Players only, baby.
Portland OKC this week. We're going to see some talented guards in that one. Cover starts at 7:30 with the Auto Trader pregame show. Brooklyn and Orlando, two teams fighting in the East. By fighting, I mean Brooklyn ahead of that. Aaron Gordon taking flight.
Oh, man.
The problem is Aaron Gordon left the game due to lower back tightness. But Mo Bamba, his game's the same that's tight.
He's getting better. Each game getting better and better. D-Load, I see you.
I mean, you say getting better and better. D'Angelo Russell.
He's getting refocused.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's getting refocused, Chris.
That looked like a focused face right there.
Yes.
So Nikola Vucevic going to work inside, tying the game at 1:13, 30 seconds to go. D'Angelo Russell, focused.
The step back.
Ice more in his vein, there it is.
Yeah.
Ice more in his veins.
You got to have your own thing, right?
That's right.
Evan Fournier looking to match on the other end.
Okay,
Pass it to Fournier.
Champagne.
Oh, no.
That champagne don't taste good.
Nope. Nets have now won 7 of their last 9. They're in 6th place in the Eastern Conference. Kenny Atkinson.
Getting it done.
Doing his thing.
Getting it done.
Miami, Detroit. 2 more teams in the mix.
Must see BG's back.
Trying to make that playoff push out east. And there's a theme because Andre Drummond also out of this game.
See, that's why I don't go down low too often, Chris. That don't happen to me too often. I'm not normally down there. You see what I mean?
You're here with us now.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Oh, my goodness.
You're too pretty for that.
Oh, man.
Blake Griffin going to have to carry the load, Booze. He's been doing that all season, and it's working out.
Man, playing great. Can handle the ball. You see him there with a step-back 3, shooting a good clip from the three-point line this year.
32 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist shy of a triple-double. Dwayne Wade, though, answering on the other end, gives Miami the lead in the 4th quarter.
Flash letting us know, spin cycle, a little bit left in the tank, Flash.
20 points, 8 assists. We got a 3-point game with 11 seconds to go. Wade gonna get the look.
A little off balance, kind of forced a little bit.
So the Detroit Pistons get the win 98-93, despite the very good game from Dwayne Wade, but the excellent performance from Blake Griffin. Cleveland, Utah. And we're going to say this was a practice session for the Giants.
Practice.
Donovan Mitchell, he's happy, Booze. You know why? Because he's going to get his numbers early and often.
Yeah, he was playing terrific. You see him throw it up to the big fella Gobert right there. This one would be a blowout.
And then Mitchell saying, okay, I got to get my numbers quick because he didn't stay on the floor long.
Oh, well, you saw Channing Frye was getting ready to rotate. Well, look at Channing. He goes, oh, never mind. Make this a business decision. That's the dunk champ.
And by stay on the floor, I mean elevate and then get all the points that he needed. Donovan Mitchell, 24 in just 26 minutes. And then Rudy Gobert, another high percentage, easy bucket. And that deficit just elevating for Cleveland.
Well, you know, Bulls kind of teased you a little bit earlier and said this was a blowout.
87-53 at this point. Grayson Allen like, hey, where'd he go to school?
Dookie! Oh, Lord.
Kevin loves him. Oh, man. So Utah gets the win 115-99, and this wasn't even that close.
No, I thought Rodney Hood and Alec Burks would bring a little bit more known. They used to play for Utah, drafted by them, but not tonight.
So getting back to the Brooklyn Nets and seeing what they're doing under the tutelage of one Kenny Atkinson, it seems as if they've turned the corner. I mean, 24 wins so far this year. They're approaching how much they had the entire season last year and more than the 2 previous seasons before that. They're rolling.
They've been turning the corner, Chris, and stay with me. Now they've kind of turned the bend, if you will, where now they're not giving games back. Remember early in the season, Booth, where they were giving away 10, 15, 19-point leads. Now Kenny Atkins has stayed the course and stayed with his guys and kept believing in them. Jared Allen, all the block shots we've seen from the defensive end. Dinwiddie now, getting the new contract, he's playing great. Right. And, of course, our boy Angelo Russell got ice water in his veins. Just happy to see him playing good basketball.
Yeah, no, exactly. The thing about it with them, they're doing a good job of winning the close games. That's what I'm impressed with. That's why you got them in the playoff picture right now. They got a couple guys playing terrific. Their guards have been playing terrific all season. Allen's been doing a good job of anchoring the rim, but they're winning the close games, and that's why they're having the success that they're having.
Yeah, to that point, 9-5 this year in games decided by 3 points or less, and that's something we've seen in the previous seasons. They fight tough, but lose those games. They're finding out ways to win this year. We had some nominees for Courtside Certified. Stay Coogee down to the socks. We see Boogie coming in. That's up next on Game Time.
I had to call Bron, and tell him, I apologize for being that young player that wanted to everything at his fingertips, and I wanted everything to be at, my threshold. I wanted to be the guy that led us to championship. I wanted to be the leader. I wanted to be all that, and the responsibility of being the best player in the world and leading a team is something that's not meant for many people. And Bron was one of those guys that came to Cleveland and tried to really show us what it's like to win a championship, and it was hard for him.
Kyrie Irving on Wednesday night, trying to give folks a perspective on where he is now versus his time in Cleveland when he was the young star playing alongside LeBron James, and trying to give context to the comments he made during the 3-game losing streak when he was sort of complaining about not getting the ball and about the young guys he was playing alongside. I'm going directly to you with this because you know Kyrie very well, obviously from your Cavaliers days. What did you think when you heard this the first time?
To be honest, I didn't hear any negative in it. And I was somewhat surprised that people went as negative with it as they did in terms of he's trying to take a veiled shot at the young guys again, and that he's trying to be more passive-aggressive. I didn't see any of that, and I don't believe that relative to Kyrie. I think he was being very transparent. Like, look, I realize that I had an opportunity there that I didn't embrace and appreciate. What I think is different, though, and I think is complicated for Boston, LeBron was a multi-time MVP and a multi-time champion when he showed up, and he was clearly our leader, and he was 8 years older, 7 years older than Kyrie. In this situation, Kyrie and those other guys are very much more contemporaries. Kyrie is not a multi-time MVP, and they got one game away from the finals without him. So for him to come back, for Gordon to come back and introduce that much ball dominance, it was naturally going to take these young kids who have never played any other role than the role they just got done playing for that team. It's going to take them some time to find themselves. In Kyrie's case, he was sold. It's his team when he re-signed with us. And he recruited an entire team of free agents that all wanted to come. And then overnight, it was LeBron's team when LeBron decided to come back. Kyrie literally had a team taken away from him. Those young kids were never at that level yet. And so I think it's an interesting thing to see how Kyrie has now sort of become LeBron in this circumstance, and he thinks of himself in a weird way as the old head, when in reality, he's still just a kid and he's just figuring it out, and people need to just let him figure it out because his heart's in the right place.
Yeah. Oh, man, you said the word kid, though. That's what set him off when he was playing with LeBron. He bristled at the idea of being condescended, it seemed like. At least
yeah, but I'm really old.
Exactly. But I think the authenticity with, in his words ring true for a lot of people. The tough part is the one place where they might not is in that Boston locker room with some of those younger guys, because they are looking at it through a similar prism that Kyrie had when he was in Cleveland when LeBron came back. I don't know if anybody deals with millennials or young people. Try convincing them that their reality is not everybody's reality. Good luck. And these guys played so well last year when Kyrie and Gordon Hayward were not in the mix. They have no reason to come back and believe that's not possible again for them. Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Rozier, they come back into this season with a confidence that you only accrue by doing what they did last year when these guys were out. So if you're Kyrie, you have to tread very carefully on the emotions and the confidence of these young guys, because they've got something to hold on to that you didn't have when LeBron came back to Cleveland. There had been no playoff success for Kyrie. All he was operating on was a vision of what he could do, kind of a blueprint of what he thought he could be as a player and what that team could be in the future. These guys have something in the pocket already. You got to be conscious of that and acknowledge that, to me, if you're Kyrie, when you're dealing with these young guys.
Brad Stevens was asked about this today, and he seemed to appreciate Kyrie's reflectiveness and his, the word he used was accountability as well. It was really interesting. The comments came right after Kyrie closed the game for them and sort of reasserted himself as one of the great closers in the league, reminded his teammates perhaps as well why he wants the ball at the end of games. I wonder, though, is this a thing that could fester? Is this a conversation that needs to be had now?
I don't think so. And the reason is holding yourself accountable in the way he did gives he and Brad the ability to make it go away very quickly. Look, here's what I meant. Here's what I said. It's over.
Right.
And the way it goes away even quicker is if you stop talking about who the leader is and just go play basketball. It's very difficult. You mentioned the fact that those young guys being millennials, right? I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it has to do with you're 19 and 20 and the only role you've ever known how to play is being the guy who helps carry you to the conference finals. And then you're told, yeah, that was good, but we need you to sacrifice now. That's a whole lot easier for a 28-year-old who's worn different hats in his career than it is for those young guys. So this was naturally going to take time, and this was naturally going to be Brad's biggest challenge. Brad's never entered a year with this kind of expectations as a coach. He's never entered a year with this many mouths to feed. So it takes time for them to find their stride, and that's to be expected.
It's a really interesting dynamic, and great players often fall into this trap of talking about their guys and their team because they're asked about it all the time. But there's always something that's a little off about that to me, declaring it yourself. The great players don't necessarily need to announce that.
Kyrie's actions will speak louder than any of his words.
Absolutely.
If he just continues to do what he does best, and that's play his guts out and play for the greater good. It's not like I've never felt like Kyrie was out there playing for the spectacle of Kyrie. Even if his game suggests that's what he's doing because it's so flashy, I never got the feeling that he was that kind of guy. Certainly not when LeBron came back. He slid into his role, even if he did it begrudgingly. He slid into the right role on those teams because he understood what was at stake.
Right.
He's got to allow some of his younger guys to evolve in their roles doing the exact same thing.
So you literally made me laugh when you said the spectacle of Kyrie because this is a guy who can go wrong foot, left-handed floater in the paint over a big man to win a game. That's a spectacle in and of itself.
Yeah.
Where I think you've seen him showing real leadership, though, and he gets very little credit for this. He has picked up his end of the deal on the defensive side of the ball by leaps and bounds over where he was before. He's much better at the point of attack in a pick and roll than he's ever been. He's buying into everything that they are asking everyone else to do. He's just learning how to vocalize it.
Boston's lead is now 14 over the Memphis Grizzlies on their home floor tonight. They lead that game 44-30 and 5-2 so far for Kyrie.